if you think about it as the opportunity for your brand and your products to scale and get profits, that should be the motivation for you to really kick ass. And every host is different too, every show. So when I'm training people, I'm thinking about, are you going on a TV segment, which is generally could be 1.5 to 5 minutes if you're lucky for an
But don't
interview.
forget, like in today's world, what you're saying, just to be relevant, it's like going on a podcast, like what we're doing right here.
Yes.
A lot of people are being interviewed on social channels, podcast style. So this totally applies the same because you're being interviewed. And in business interviews, it's not like talking about Bravo reality TV, which could be more like fun. You've got to come prepared. And I think a lot of people think they're just going to wing it.
Right. They do. What I tell them is we practice for the different media appearances. So we'll practice for how do we get that message across in 1.5 to 5 minutes if you're lucky. And that's where you really need to be concise. What are your hit message points and what do you hit if they didn't ask you a question you wanted? How do you fit it in? Then we move on to podcasts, which I like to say you can breathe. You have more time to fill in a deeper, richer narrative and story. So the story that we made succinct and more soundbite style, now you can let it flourish a little more. And that becomes also, if someone's been used to short and sweet, how do they stretch it, but not go off in tangents and not get lost in their own storytelling?
Yeah, because I get bored really easily when I'm watching TikTok. I'm like, to get bottom line.
But that's the storytelling. So many of my clients will say, oh, I don't have any stories. And I said, all right, before we meet, I'm going to come up with at least 20, 25, 30 questions. And I guarantee you're going to find stories. And then when I start asking them, they're like, ooh, how'd you know that? Or how'd you come up with that question? I said, I did a deep dive on you.